everyone. Wow. It's always so exciting and overwhelming and humbling, I should say, to stand in front of such an incredible audience. So good morning, everyone. Awesome. I'd like to start with a few thank yous, and I'm going to take a piece of paper for that so I do not forget anything. So first of all, we had an amazing hackathon over the last few days. And thank you for EPF for hosting us for the hackathon. Incredible, really, truly appreciate it. Thank you, Deloitte, for hosting the hackathon presentations. That was also incredible. All the hackathon mentors and judges, and Aisha, our alumni coordinator, for leading an incredible alumni steering committee, which without them, this would have never happened. Thank you, Safa. All our corporate partners, NGOs, and of course, our incredible, incredible dream team, I want to say, led by Knox. Thank you for all your hard work all around this. It's not only today. This is an ongoing work that's being done with heart, mind, soul, to make this world a better place. And last but not least, on the team's group, I do want to mention Val, who's created this event in her mastermind and actually made it happen. So well done, Val, and the whole team around you. Thank you. Martin Moshal will be joining us this evening, but of course, for me, he's my true partner in this journey. So, of course, I have him in my heart and soul and mind when I speak. Okay. Now, to the really important people in the room, so sorry everyone who I thanked. Thank you for my true inspiration, which is you, students and alumni. Thank you. To you. Thank you for making me wake up every morning and be grateful. Thank you for inspiring, giving me ideas, challenging me, for seeing you flourish, for seeing you give back. Thank you. This is the fire. You. So I can't ask for more. Yesterday, I listened to these incredible presentations of our students. Such bright youngsters with such amazing ideas. I would have never been able to think about that. And I was talking to our alumni, that's fun to speak to them. So, of course, they challenged me. That's how it works. And I was talking to two of our alumni, and they said, well, what differentiates us, Moshal alumni, from others? And I said, ooh, quite a few things I can think of. No, only two. Yeah, of course, why make it easy for me? So, my answer to them was, first, they stand tall, and they understand their value and what they bring to the table and what they bring to the corporates that are sitting here when they work for you. They know they are valuable. They bring value. So that's one. The second one is they understand their responsibility. They understand it's not only about them and that they are not expected to pay anything back, but we do expect them to pay it forward. And I almost think we don't have to say it. It's obvious. They know that if they're Moshal alumni, they know that they have a role in making this place a better place. And to do that, they need to show the way. They need to expose youngsters who maybe have never been exposed to these opportunities out there and tell them what it's about and tell them, yes, you can. If I can, you can. And that's role modeling. And that's the second characteristic that I thought would be the right one to mention. So our alumni are true inspiration, and let me just show you.
I grew up in a small area called Atok. My primary school was about 20 to 25 kilometers from where I stayed, and I had to walk. We could sleep hungry, but we had, books, we had school uniform. They always put education first. I think that's why I'm where I am at this point.
So I was raised by a single parent. My brother got ill when I was in grade 7. I had to sell tissues so that we can go by. And I think then and there I decided that I don't want my younger sister to go through that.
I got here when I was like 6 with my uncle and my brother, then got moved to the children's home.
There was a drive inside him. He tried his best in every single thing that he was doing.
My situation motivated me to study.
I was worried because I have nothing and I don't want Asanda to stay here.
I was in the process of finalizing my student financial aid at UCT. Then when I got the scholarship, then a lot of things changed.
I was so happy Asanda find the bursary because I know Asanda will make it.
The amount of support that you get from it is just beyond the financial aspect.
Everything was sorted, your accommodation. They showed us around university, told us about the challenges.
If I was struggling with any course, there would be a student that was there before me to assist me in anything, telling me how to do things differently than how I was doing it.
They gave us these various programs in terms of like how to get ready and what are the things that employers are looking for.
I got an interview, never done an interview before. They sent me like questions, how to manage myself, how to show up. So it was very helpful.
That's what sets a Moshal student apart. The fact that we go through very rigorous training for the workspace.
Just to see the creativity that these young people have. I hope these are skills that they'll take forward.
It's really good to see the energy, the enthusiasm, and the will to make a difference.
We are so grateful for our alumni that are mentoring our students. After all, they are who Moshal is.
Like the spirit of, for example, the spirit of paying it forward. Everybody wants to give back because they know what it is like to not have anything.
We do not choose where we come from or the circumstances that we are born into, but we have the power to change the future. The Moshal program aims to facilitate the economic transformation of our students' lives through education and ensure that future generations have a different starting point to that of our students and their families.
We had one goal, just have better lives for ourselves and for our families and for the people around us as well.
Always breaking down the stigmas, breaking generational poverty, and always being upfront about wanting to become better people.
You can see a Moshal student from other people because their hands is always up. They always want to take the initiative.
I've always, I think, wanted to be an engineer. Being able to, at the end of the day, give back to our families and our communities at large. Sometimes I look at myself and be like, I'm living a dream.
I believe two of these incredible alumni are sitting in the room today, which is Sifo and Patrice. Where are you here? Can't see them. Maybe coming in later, but I know they're coming in today. So these are incredible. I mean, this is who Moshal alumni are. That's it. So, a bit about me. My name is Yael, and my business career started at university studying economics and business for my first degree, and then doing an MBA I worked in banking for 17 years. The last 6, I was head of private banking of a bank in Zurich, Switzerland, deputy general manager. After 17 years in banking, I decided enough. It's time to move on, do something else in life. Moved with my family, husband, 3 kids, to London, opened my own office, started representing private investors on deals, property, finance, doing a lot of, as we call it, hardcore business. Usually the only woman in the room. And did that for quite a while. And while I was doing all of that, about 15 years ago, Martin comes back from this conference about higher education and says to me, hey, you know, I've been to this really interesting conference and it talks about higher education, and I would really like to see if we can find a way to support youngsters who come from challenging backgrounds and choose to study a degree that will allow them to make a good living and change their lives, but not only their lives, the lives of their families and their communities. Okay, now I do business. So I go home and I can't sleep. That's it. So it's like something goes on here, my whole body's moving, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I mean, why not? This is what we should do. So I write a 2-pager, like an executive summary, come back to Martin the following day, say, hey, Martin, is this what you mean? He says, yeah. I say, remarks? No. I said, fine, so let's just make it happen. I said, just remember, I mean, both of us, we come from the business space, right? So we think business, and that's how we're going to start. And that's how the journey of the Moshal program began. So we had an idea. And we started learning, understanding what's out there, what needs to be done, speaking to youngsters, speaking to headmasters, speaking to whoever I could. Like, we were just like absorbing, and that was my night job, because obviously I was working on business stuff. Just learning and trying to understand, but I was so enthusiastic about it. I couldn't stop. It's like a bug. And I think that after understanding from students what really needs to be done, we started changing this idea into a reality. Started with 9 students, said, okay, let's work together. You need to tell me if what we're doing is right. Grew and grew and grew. And here I am, standing here, humbled, I have to say, in front of you all. Thank you. Thank you. I was thinking of what to speak about today because Knox said, listen, this is about the journey and I'd like you to share. And I thought, okay, how shall I do it? Because there's so much. And I thought I'll just take our mission, which we've strapped down to economic mobility, because if one thinks about the change, the movement, the success, that all goes down to being able to earn well. That's how it starts. That's where it starts from, that you can support yourselves, your families, the next generation. Something needs to move and allow you freedom. So this is our mission, and we understood that that's where we need to start. And then I thought I'll share a few lessons that I learned over these years. I hope it interests you. It's 4 lessons plus 1. And I am going to share some numbers. So I'm not a professor for economics, so don't look at it from that point of view. It's not accurate, and deliberately it's not, because that's not what's important. What's important is the idea. What's important is understanding the size, understanding what we're doing and where we can get to, but not the accuracy and not lots of thoughts behind it. Of course, there's a lot to say about anything and everything. So, lesson number 1, the value of bringing business thinking into the social space. I said before, that's where I come from, right? that's my experience, lots and lots of years in business and management and senior management and making things happen and going forward and taking it there. So how do you actually apply the business thinking into the social world? And what's the value of that? So I learned it's extremely valuable as long as you are completely connected to the mission with your soul and heart, like I would say, like from my stomach, deep. So as long as that's the case and I'm totally emotionally connected, there's huge value in applying business values or business ideas or thinking into the social world. So what does success mean? Success means that our alumni work for you guys, our corporate partners, and hundreds more, and all hospitals in South Africa, and some out of this country. But this is success, right? Now, you don't take our alumni because of where they came from. You take them because of the value they bring. It's clear. And because they bring value, they work for you. And I always say that you should thank them for working for you because they bring so much value. Okay, that's how I think. Try argue. To get here, you need a good degree. You need a proper degree. And we today already have 1,206 students and alumni already succeeding or on their way to success. And they're studying sought-after degrees that we know that they will be able to make a good living with them. So this is like the reverse engineering thinking of business, right? Because if we want to make sure that there's success, and that's, we define success, then in order to get there, you need to have a good job, be well paid, and then for that, you need to have a good degree, and you don't even need to only start university, which is what we have here. You also need to finish it. And in these degrees that we're showing, dropout is 40%. If you're not part of the Moshal program, don't worry, guys. But this is going backwards, right? From the end to the beginning. Now, what's the beginning? So we have super smart, talented, motivated, and extremely resilient youngsters here, students. And yeah, they come from an underprivileged background. Okay, maybe that makes them tougher, stronger, even more motivated. But that's where they come from. You can't change that. And it's okay, it is what it is. These are the cards. The question is, what do we do with our cards? And how do we make sure, as a society, that we create that opportunity, that we show that there is a way to take all this talent and motivation and resilience to a completely different future. And there's so much of that. So that shouldn't go to waste, right? I mean, just imagine, all of this creates so many wonderful ideas of all these doctors and doctors-to-be, and engineers-to-be, and managers, and leaders, and entrepreneurs, and inventors, and academics. I mean, just imagine, there's so much of this. And that's what we need to remember, which is closing this gap, creating the opportunity for them and for us. So, success. What does success mean in numbers? So in the Moshal program, almost everyone, 92.3% of our students who start the program graduate. Yes. And not only that, they all work, or almost everyone works, at sought-after positions, then they are well paid. So this is the initial idea of success, but this is not enough. With all due respect, we have our minds don't stop thinking and business. And so here are a few of our measurements. One is the salary. How much do they earn? Do they earn like their peer group? Do they earn like second generation to higher education? That's really important, because that's what they deserve. That's the value they bring. How do they earn compared to the family they come from? What's the impact there? What's the intergenerational economic mobility? And what's the ROI? What is the return on investment? Or how do we look at that? So, average salary. You alumni and mainly our students, you're getting a lot of inside information here of how your future is going to look like. So, annual salary, the first salary, monthly and annual is this. Okay, that's where they start. And this is like second generation to higher education. So no difference. And it really doesn't matter where you come from. The value that you bring is what's important. And with your resilience and motivation and talent, you'll get what you deserve. Okay? First salary is 8 times higher than the family that you come from. That means you'll be able to buy, many of you have already done if you're alumni, buy a house for your parents, for your family. You'll be able to have a better life, a better future for your children. And this is really substantial. This is where you are, at your starting salary. So just think of the future, how bright the future is for you. Okay, ROI, return on investment. Please, let's just put this on the side for a minute, and I'll come back to it. Lesson 2, money is not enough. Yes, money is very important. Yes, without Martin's investment, couldn't do this. We need the financial means in order to be able to do it. But there's a huge difference between taking money and giving it, or doing something extra, creating a whole wraparound support, looking at it holistically, preparing, looking at it from the end to the beginning, and then saying, okay, this is the end game. That's clear. They need to bring value. This is where they come from. Yes, they're going to have a degree. Is that enough? The answer is no. We need to do more together. And this is a huge lesson that I think is really important. I mean, for me, it was a very important lesson. So, first of all, the talent. You, our students, it's about you. It's your life. It's your responsibility. You need to make sure that you succeed because you're changing your life. We are just helping. We're around you. We are making sure that you get what you need, that maybe you're not exposed to yet and you don't even know what to ask. But 100% your responsibility to work hard, to make sure you do well, to raise flags if you have problems, if you need help. That's on you. But we know that you're talented. We also know you'll make it through. Even when you have doubt sometimes, we know, because the numbers say it. It's clear to us. So, first of all, you need to focus on your study. And that means, yes, you need some peace of mind. How do you get peace of mind? First of all, you have to make sure that you have enough money to eat, and a safe place to sleep, and that your mind is clear and you can focus, because you're competing with other youngsters who come from different backgrounds. So, yes, definitely very important to have that. Not enough yet. Wraparound support, personalized support. We have a fantastic team of our Moshal program in South Africa. And each student coordinator has 100 students, and her main focus is your success. So that's what she does. Encourages you, helps you solve things, guide you, connect you to other students, Whatever is needed, that's what she does, or he. Career and training, career skills and training. Well, of course, how can you be prepared for the workspace if you've never been exposed to it? It's not your fault, but you need it. Because, as we know, that's why you will be chosen. So we make sure to go through a whole rigorous training plan that starts in year 1 and ends at the end of the studies. A community of our students and alumni. There is nothing like the Moshal community. Nothing in the world. Because the warmth, the understanding, the help, the being out there and just saying, hey, well, what do you need? How can I help you? Always reaching out to help, always reaching out to assist. That's the Moshal community. So they help each other, and they can share ideas and support. And if someone's got difficulties at university, someone else can help. And many times they live in the same place. So this is a very powerful community. And the longer we are in this world, 15 years already and kicking, as we say, the more powerful this community is. But this is still not enough. It's you, our corporate partners, who open doors, who mentor, who help us, who understand what we're here for and what we're doing in the world, and really partner us on this mission. And when I think of what I learned from all of this, is that really money is not enough. We need a whole system to help us, whole system of amazing people who understand what we're up to, right? To make this happen and understand how to do it properly. And we've tweaked it and turned it and learned and changed and listened to our students and to our alumni, and we learn from them, you know. They're the bright people in the room. I listen, but they bring the ideas, so I think that's important to remember. So now let's go back to the return on investment. This is what it costs. This whole thing that I showed you, this is what it costs for a 3-year degree. And this is what they earn. So it's a no-brainer. In just over a year, this whole investment brings this return. So of course it's in brackets because, you know, we don't expect anything back. You do not need to give anything back. You need to pay it forward. That's what we expect, but not to pay anything back. This is your success. And it just shows how good this investment is. Because if you think of, we look at it as our return on investment, right? This is what we invest, this is what you earn, this is how we look at it. For us, this is success. But this is the first year. And they cover almost all the costs, first year. So now we're talking about a 40-year career, right? Look what happens. This is what these incredibly talented alumni, graduates of ours, okay? You guys are going to earn over the lifetime of your career. One person. And this is the tax you're going to pay. It's 12 times higher than what's invested. So I don't know, from business perspective, this is, as I said, where I come from, it's a no-brainer. That there's no question that the next generation of talented South Africans are the best investment that one can do in this country. To me, it's a no-brainer. We're already 1,206. So, 2 billion in GDP to South Africa. That's what you guys are going to contribute to the economy of the country. 700 million rands in tax. And this is just, I'm just talking about one donor, one program. Just, please bear this in mind. This is really important when one thinks ahead. Lesson 3, enough with the numbers. So, I learned the power of role modeling at scale. I can stand and talk in front of a young person forever and be energetic and enthusiastic and say lots of good words. And they're a learner from school, and they will look at me and say, yeah, that's your world. My world is a different world. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, and it's not the way. Maybe I can speak to women in the room and tell them what it means to have a career of a woman in a difficult man's world, but that's a different story. So, it's not for me to tell the next generation of South Africans that they can go to university and that they can have a successful life. That's not me. That's you guys. And the power of this is unbelievable. There is nothing like seeing a child and sit in front of you with no real inspiration in his eyes, and then they hear you, and you talk about what you've done and your journey, and they suddenly start dreaming. You suddenly see their eyes, their look completely changes, and they're inspired. You touch them, and that's so powerful. There's nothing like it. And just think about an alumni that mentors a student about the workspace and gives tips, or gives tips about university, or helps them open a door. The power of this, because, I mean, our alumni, our students, they understand each other really well, and when it comes from them, they believe them. Interview panels, and going back to school. I mean, the power of children that meet a student or an alumni of ours and hears the story from them and understands that they can change their lives is, for me, is the strongest power in the world, because this creates this movement, the energy, and then things can just grow and grow. And that's you guys. I can do as much as one individual. We're a 15-people team. We can do as much. But 1,206 students and alumni, you can change the world. Just look at this. Just now, this is 2024. Our students and alumni met with 27,000 learners at their rural schools. I mean, these are future Moshal students, that's obvious. Lesson 4. Okay, talent is spread evenly, and opportunities aren't. And when I look at this sentence, which I completely believe in 100%, I always think about the lost potential. And I think, oh my God, I mean, there's so much talent out there. And if it doesn't get an opportunity, it won't be released. And that's not only the problem of the talent person, individual, that it wasn't released. It's our problem. All of us. Because if we manage to release talent and give opportunities to others, then they will utilize that talent, and that will impact all of us. It will impact the economy. It will impact our lives. So I believe that it's our responsibility, like all of us, everyone sitting here and more, to create these opportunities and to make sure that every child can live up to their potential and prosper. That's our responsibility. And we need to make sure that we do it. We can. Now, just imagine the impact. You know, I showed some numbers before, right? So I showed 2 billion and I showed 700 million. Now multiply that by 10. How about 100,000? And just imagine, I mean, you guys, the leaders of the future, coming with this caliber. That's who you are. and also managing and leading, what will this country look like? Isn't this amazing? So if I need to ask myself to leave you with one thought, is probably this, is what can we do to make sure that we create the opportunities to allow this talent to prosper? One more lesson, I promised. I said 4 + 1. I went on a journey, and I found my calling. And I think that success means that because you lived in this world, somebody else is just breathing a little bit better. So, thank you very much. Thank you.